All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the next installment of Mission to Musicians 2, Tip Jar Ministry, brought to you by St. Anna's Episcopal Church in New Orleans. Tonight, very special performance. This is pianist Andre Bohren, very unique gentleman. When you're in music school, they tell you should be able to play all styles of music, all types of music, because you never know where that gig's going to come from. And I think Andre epitomizes that. Not only is he a classically trained musician, but he also started a band called Johnny Sketch and the Dirty Notes. And those guys play around the town, and if you're really lucky, with this here COVID crisis going on, you might catch Andre on the back of a pickup, tinkling the ivories and entertaining the crowd somewhere around Frenchman Street. As always, we want you to tip the musicians. Remember, this is specifically for our musician community so that they can raise some funds, make some money, and keep the music alive here in New Orleans. So without further ado, we want to bring to you Mr. Andre Bohren, who's going to give us some piano selections tonight, a wide variety of stuff. I think mainly classical, is it, Andre? All classical. This is all classical tonight, so if you can't handle it, you better go somewhere else. But don't leave us. All right, Mr. Andre Bohren.
Thank you, Daryl. All right, folks, I'm going to play a variety of some of my favorite classical piano music that I've been working on over the years. I've got some Schubert, some Chopin, a little bit of Franz Liszt, a little bit of Schumann, and some Debussy. Most of tonight's program I picked because I felt like it would sound and feel really nice to play these pieces in a room like this. So that's kind of where I'm coming from with this program. So without further ado, I'm going to get going with Schubert's Impromptu, Opus 90, number 4, in A flat. Thank you. That's one that I like to start with a lot of times because it kind of loosens up everything that needs to be loosened up for the rest of the set. That's Schubert's Impromptu, Opus 90, number 4. And Schubert just wrote a tremendous amount of music in a pretty short life. He was, I believe, he was 31 when he died, and he wrote over 600 pieces of music. So that's not a bad run, if you ask me. And that the impromptus were stuff that he wrote towards the end of his life. He was a contemporary with Beethoven, second half of Beethoven's life, so early 1800s. And yeah, that's a little bit of fun facts about Schubert. If you are so inclined and you're enjoying the music here, please feel free to visit the virtual tip jar. There's a couple of different ways you can do that. They're both in the listing here on the video, I believe. So be sure to check that out. This is how we're doing gigs these days. So any and everything is very much appreciated. All right, I'm going to move on now with one of the prettiest pieces of music I've ever heard. This is music that Chopin wrote when he was in his early 20s, and he never published it during his lifetime. And in fact, he left instructions to not publish anything that hadn't been published during his life after he died. And I'm pretty glad that his family went against his wishes and published this one, because it's just gorgeous. This is his Nocturne in C sharp minor, Opus Posthumus. so much. That's when I've been excited about playing in this room since I got the call to play here. So, as much fun as it is to play that on the back of a pickup truck, it just doesn't sound the same as it does in a church room like this. So, feel very fortunate to have the opportunity to play music on a nice piano in a room like this. So thank you very much, St. Anna's, Daryl and Jack, for letting me do this here. And thanks to everyone for tuning in. All right, I'm going to go back to Schubert now. I'm going to play another impromptu. This is from a different set. This is Opus 142, number 2, in A flat. And this is just really nice music. That's really all I have to say about this one. I really like this one a lot. I hope you enjoy it. That's Schubert's Impromptu, Opus 142, number 2. And it's just really nice music. It's kind of pastoral and seems like a fitting piece to put in the program here this evening. All right, I'm going to go back to another Chopin nocturne. Before there are a few little fireworks in the program tonight, but I wanted to keep it mostly on the more mellow kind of stuff that would just allow the notes, the melodies to kind of sing in this room a little bit more. But like this next one, this is a piece that I'd wanted to learn for decades, and until we got kind of locked down. I never had the opportunity to do it. So this is one that this is relatively new to my repertoire, and it's another Chopin nocturne. This is also one of his hits, if you will. This is Chopin's Nocturne, Opus 9, number 2, in E flat. All right, that's Chopin's just stunningly beautiful Nocturne Opus 9, number 2. All right, I'm going to keep it on the Chopin vibe, and I'm going to get into one of his larger scale works. This is his Scherzo number 3 in C sharp minor. I believe it's Opus 39, and this one's got some fireworks. This is a whole lot of fun to play. And the middle section has got kind of this like raindrop kind of vibe. It's like a little melody down in the low part, low register, and then it answers that with a really nice little waterfall of notes. So listen up for that. Yeah, I hope you enjoy this one as much as I enjoy playing it. I hope I can play it. All right, that's Chopin's. What is that one? That's Chopin's Scherzo Number 3, Opus 39. Yeah, that's an exciting one. I like playing that one a lot. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please feel free to visit the virtual tip jar. I have a Venmo and PayPal information on this on the feed here. So that's how we're doing gigs these days. So hope you're able to, if you're enjoying it, treat it like you would any other concert that you would go to way back when in the before times. All right, so I'm going to shift gears again and play some music by Claude Debussy. I have a couple of preludes from his second book of preludes. They're short little pieces. I'm going to play number 1 and number 3 from his second book. These were both published in 1913. So this music's just a little over 100 years old, and the first one is kind of an odd little piece. It's not as tonal as Chopin and Schubert, but it's very evocative of the title, which is Brouillards, which is French for mist or fog. And then the other one that I'm going to do, is called La Puerta del Vino, the Gate of Wine, and it's based on a postcard that Debussy received from a friend of his of a gate in Spain to a winery. So that's the two Debussys I'm going to play here for you. All right, that's a couple of Debussy preludes. Sneaky little pieces. The first one is mist or fog. The French word is brouillards. And the second one there was sort of Debussy's very French take on a little Spanish lilt with a piece called La Puerta del Vino, the Gate of Wine. All right, I have two more pieces here. I hope that's all right, timing-wise. Cool. All right, I'm going to play a piece by Franz Liszt here. And Liszt was an interesting guy. He was really one of the first rock stars in the musical performance world. He was, by all accounts, a monumental concert pianist, and he wrote music for himself. So a lot of his music is just almost, I would almost say, needlessly difficult to play, but he could play it, and it worked well for him. He was very popular as a touring concert pianist, and he had ladies would fight over his cigar butts and his gloves and things like that. Like he was very, very, early rock star. And but so a lot of his music is kind of flashy just for the sake of being flashy. And the piece I'm going to play here is one of his transcendental etudes. And this one has some of that flash, but it's also got a lot of really, really beautiful musicality in it as well. So this one is called Harmonies du Soir, Harmonies of the Night. And it's his Transcendental Etude number 11. So, and actually keep in mind, this is the original version of this that he wrote. He decided it was too hard, so he revised it twice. And so this is the easy version. So that's I don't know if that'll give you any context of the kind of musical fortitude he had as a performer, but I hope you enjoy this one as much as I like playing it. All right. Thank you. That's Liszt's Transcendental Etude number 11, titled Harmonies du Soir, Harmonies of the Night. And that's the version he settled on after deeming the original too hard. So that's the easy one. And I actually got the book of the original manuscripts, and they are just ridiculously difficult. There's like no reason for it to be that difficult. You know, it's all the same music. That's that one. That's this edition that I'm playing from that's the right level of difficulty for my taste. All right. Well, I have one more piece to play here before I call it a night. I'd like to thank everyone who's tuning in and listening. You know, it's really taken some getting used to playing to cameras and hoping that folks are tuning in on the other end. And I think people are definitely tuning in, and I really appreciate it. Can't tell you how much I appreciate St. Anna's for hosting, and they have this is part of a series, so you know, make sure that this is on your radar. Tune in to all the music that they've got going on. They're supporting local musicians. And so yeah, speaking of supporting local musicians, if you are so inclined and you're enjoying yourself, please visit the virtual tip jar. The information's on, I believe, on the screen maybe, or yeah, it's on the screen. All right, cool. All right, well, I'm going to leave you with a piece that I've been closing a lot of my concerts out with since March. This is another piece that's pretty new to my repertoire. I think I first played it back in maybe June, so it's a couple months in. And this is a piece by Robert Schumann. It's part of his children's Scenes from Childhood suite. And this one is called Traumerei, which is dreaming. And it's just about the prettiest music that I've ever heard. So I like, it's a nice way to sign off. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope this sets the tone for a lovely evening. Thank you. All right, have a great night.